It's v.h.s.x. What do you mean?
Alright everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be doing a reaction discussion video that was suggested by one of you guys in the Discord community. If you want to be able to submit your own videos and suggestions and whatnot into the Discord, you can go with the link in the description to submit it. So thank you guys for submitting this. We're going to be talking about a video from Alran titled Behavior Killed Wesker. So I'm actually curious to kind of see, what this is about, because I haven't really looked into the recent PTB or anything like that recently. But we're doing it now. So let's go ahead and take a look here.
I don't know how or why they've done this, but rebounds are gone. If you don't play Wesker, you might not realize what is wrong.
Oh,
but
boy.
I am dashing at this wall. I'm holding the A key to move the...
Yeah, no, yeah. Okay, I can, that only took me 3 seconds and I already saw what happened. So, I played Wesker quite a bit. I wouldn't say I'm a Wesker main by any means, but I've picked him up a few times to try him out, just to shake things up. And he doesn't bounce from what I'm noticing in this PTB footage. Usually when he slams into something, he can kind of bounce, and then from there he can use that momentum to move in a direction, usually forward or usually to the side. And that usually allows you to be able to rotate around and get a grab. The fact that this has been removed, or at least I don't know if this is intentional or not, I guess we're gonna find out in a second. It basically completely just destroys the character. Now, why is that? This character, I would argue Wesker has gotten power crept extremely quickly over the course of the last sort of mobility characters we've received. I mean, Kennedy, for example. Blight still just power creeps to everybody pretty much. And Wesker, just in current state, only has 2 dashes, and they're both either short. They're both, well, how do I describe it? The first dash is short, and then the next one's long. So and it's pretty easy to dodge. So it's not like you're really able, to do anything crazy. Because keep in mind, he only has forward momentum as well. So it's not like you can, try to bait out dodges or anything. So it's very simple. It's just dash forward. That's kind of it. So you can pretty much dodge it. Even myself, who has I would say way less experience playing Survivor than a lot of Survivor mains, and I'm still able to dodge it. That probably tells you this is a bit too easy to dodge. However, let's continue.
Left, and I don't. Let's go look at live. Well, that's a pretty big difference.
That's what I was saying before about the bounce kind of thing. He does kind of do a little bit of a bounce, and then he'll use that to be able to move past. So that kind of hurts the character quite a bit.
Isn't it? Actually, that's a pretty fucking massive difference. Actually, because this is so fundamental.
All right, so apparently there's also another thing that they have actually removed as well. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at that.
Something fun, because if you can't play the character properly and he doesn't function as he's supposed to, as he is intended to, as they've been played for years, people might resort to trying to do silly fun shit, like maybe jumping off of hills. But
which, as you guys know, with the recent updates you've seen a lot, even Billy goes through this. They've added you're not really capable of even going off of ledges with certain dashes. They've added a feature for Billy, at least I know fully well. You try to saw off of a ledge, sometimes it just will bug, or sometimes it would just slam against an invisible wall. And I don't really know why that's been implemented personally, but that is a thing that does occur. So you may not be able to do that with other characters in the future, most likely. But we're about to see, hopefully, that they're Hopefully he provides an example for us.
Fuck you, you dumbass, you fucking absolute imbecile. Like,
Oh,
what?
oh,
What?
wow.
Oh my
oh,
god,
wow.
we're killers
Oh.
having fun in our game. No, no, no.
Oh, wow. So he just kind of slams an invisible wall, apparently. Okay.
Oh,
That
oh,
is,
you goobers. No.
Oh, you're slamming invisible walls now. Oh, great. That's just lovely. Wow. Damn, they nerfed Wesker in the PTB. Like I said, I don't know if it was in the actual patch notes that they've said this. I was hoping that there would be like maybe like a screenshot or showing this as as an intended change, but at least what we're seeing. Okay, so if we're understanding this correctly, they are like, they had removed not only the rebound, which is obviously when you're being able to dash into a surface and being able to bounce off of it and be able to do another bound. That was obviously changed in the current PTB that we're looking at. And then also there's no way to go off of a hill so with his abilities. So I've heard people say like that it is unplayable. I have to agree with that. Because like I've said, that like Wesker has already gotten power crept pretty hard with a lot of other killers that have released, making Wesker very weak as a result. Not as weak as like a C tier or a B tier, but still not like the most reliable or even the most useful character in the game at this point. I remember there was a time where I thought Wesker was like pretty strong considering he had pretty decent mobility. And then other characters came out and then proved me wrong. So at this current point, I think it might be a wrap for our boy. I also wanted to show you guys like a bit of another example of a change that apparently is also being that had gotten implemented, which I will show you in a moment.
So if you were like looping something and you round a corner, notice how when I round the corner, the trigger bound prompt disappears. If you round the corner and for like a split second, your prompt disappears and then you click the button after it's back, right? You just, like that, right there, see? I had to click a second time to get the dash out. You're just gonna be randomly looping, and your dash isn't gonna come out, and you're not gonna have any idea why.
So, once again, another example of something that's really, really affecting this character. So that's over 3 different things that are all in play right now with the PTB's Wesker, and this is very concerning. I have to say, it's very concerning. Like I've mentioned earlier, like I've heard somebody even say that it's unplayable, and I have to agree with that. With that statement, because these are important features that this character has in order to be actually remotely viable. I almost argue that Wesker needs to have a 3rd dash at this point, like similar to 2v8, because he's just simply power crept by other characters. Not to say he's like F tier, but like he's just like, with these changes going through, he kind of reaches that point. He, to me, look like is receiving the Chucky treatment. Like, to me, he's like a pretty good character, and then he gets punched in the stomach, and then he's kind of left with nothing, basically. Yeah, like it's not great. It's not great seeing this. It definitely removes a lot of the skill expression that was there. It definitely removes a lot of Wesker mains from the entire roster and the community, which I know that a lot of people were already not playing Wesker anymore because of like the bugs, invisible walls, power creep, and stuff like that as well that just went on. Like, there's just simply other characters that can perform so much better than he can at this point. So it almost seems like you're really not incentivized to even care about the character in terms of power. Like, I think if you're just a Resident Evil fan, obviously before the PTB, then you're probably like, hell yeah, I'll play this character. Like, this is cool. I like this guy. But if you're trying to play for the fun factor, or you're trying to play for what the character can do and what you can learn, that is obviously long gone. Like if this goes through, I don't know if it's intentional. We definitely have to see if it is. I really hope it's not. Maybe that it could be a bug or something. Obviously, like Alran here has not really shown that it was like no, the PTB like patch notes or anything. So I don't know for sure. Like I really have no idea. I might have to check for myself, but that is my thoughts really on this thing. I think this is very concerning because we have seen stuff like this happen before with other characters in the past. Like I think even Blight with the hug tech, which I'm not gonna say the hug tech was the most balanced thing in the game by any means. Thankfully I've never faced the hug tech Blight, nor did I ever learn it when it was in the game, but I did enjoy the fluidity and the enjoyment of being able to kind of go and pat the way I wanted to with Blight. And then with the collision changes, I kind of stopped playing him for a very long time. And even now, I just don't really want to play him that much. Like, he's kind of fun, somewhat, but he's just really not that interesting to me, especially, like, when playing him in the 2v8 especially. Even though he's almost like required at this point to keep up in 2v8. He still has, like, that just really bad collision where, like, just... at least on Dead Dog, like you just get these gigantic little pieces of like structures that just grab you no matter where you go, and it's like really unfun to play on. I really don't enjoy it. And the fact of the matter is that like this is the removal of skill expression that we're seeing, which happens quite a bit with Killer on the game, unfortunately. Like I've seen this happen many times. Like there's different forms of skill expression or different forms of things that only the most dedicated of players can do, and then those get removed and deleted, which is just really strange to me. And I'm not really understanding why that is the case. Like, why would they not want to have that in the game? Like, I feel like that would be something that will keep people coming back. I do think that that's what keeps people on. I mean, thinking as somebody who has recently gotten into Marvel Rivals and absolutely been loving it, the fact of the matter is like I can pick up any of those characters and be able to, you know, learn from the ground up like things. And the difference between me picking up the character and then me looking at a video of somebody who mains that character are night and day differences. Like they have things that I would have never known were there unless I saw it and unless I figured it out. I mean, a good example was like Doctor Strange with his shot speed. Normally, when you're holding down your shot, your spells come out very slow. But if you implement different cancels, like shield, or implementing even the melee, if you're up close, you can increase your shot speed, increase your damage output. There's the way that you can use your float as a jump, basically, to then land in and use your ult, and then be able to use your dark magic expel to do the additional damage to actually make your ult's actually lethal with your Eye of Agamotto. Like like something like that I would have never thought about unless I had done the research and seen experienced players picking these characters and using these characters to go, wow, like that's what a high level, like super, you know, experienced player on Strange would look like. Or Spider-Man, like the #1 Spider-Man player can do all these things that I can't do. Or, you know, even Angela or something, like with her animation cancels to like combo and all these other things. And like looking at a game like that where I feel like I'm being rewarded for my time, where I'm like able to pick any character I like and I go, wow, there's so much to learn, there's so much I can get better every time, I have so much I can look at and research and play and practice. And then I'm going back to this game, and it's like if I'm playing a character, I'm no different than somebody else, because it's just how the character works now. Like it, and Wesker being the example here. Say I started playing Wesker with these changes. What is the Wesker main and me playing Wesker for the first time going to do any differently? Right? I mean, maybe the Wesker main could kind of figure out something slightly different than I wouldn't have known. But to dumb down the character to this level, it's like, where's the expression? Like, where's the learning? Where's the experience? Like, it really doesn't matter in that sense. That's my problem with removing skill expression from the game, is that we miss out on not only making the game more interesting and more engaging and more fun, and to even be able to look in awe at people that can pull off stuff that you would probably be like, damn, I can't do that. But the fact of the matter is that you can with enough practice. But unfortunately, like, I think even the community within its, like, the DVD community within itself is just kind of allergic to, you know, skill and learning and expression and countering and for some reason. And you know, I've even covered this briefly in a previous video, you know, when talking about like, there was a clip where a streamer was talking about Trickster and saying like, oh, it's just impossible to counter when there is counters, but because of the language and the way that they're trying to express themselves and the way that they just kind of gave up on trying to even counter anything, then it of course will then bleed into other people's perspectives, and then they'll think that Trickster's uncounterable. They'll think that they can't, they this it's, oh my god, it's so broken and impossible, when it's like, no, the counterplay is there. And it's like, just because you personally don't see it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Like, that doesn't really make any sense, you know what I mean? So the fact of the matter is like, we are missing out on so much because of this. And like I've said, I would hope that this isn't intentional. Maybe it's a bug, right? Maybe they're like trying to fix collision in the PTB or something. Maybe, we don't know. I probably will take a look in a second. So I decided to go ahead and show you guys, actually in the 9.5.0 PTB patch notes, it says characters, the mastermind. It says refactor done in the virulent bound power that specifically tackles the desync issues found while using the power. So it says something about, we changed how we detect a collision with other characters. When grabbing a survivor, it will now properly detect the size of the character's collision. So get ready for this. So it says fix an issue where, you know, Wesker's bound can glide off Hill's edge. It says that they fixed the issue where the speed effect was displayed after vaulting and falling. They said that they fixed an issue where they were able to use their flashlight while being thrown with the bound, which is fine. That's a bug fix. It says fix an issue where they could initiate a partial vault on a pallet near a hole while falling. They said they could fix an issue where they could grab survivors to vault locations, which I thought they already fixed that. Oh, it says at a certain angle, but I thought they already fixed that. It says fix an issue where the mastermind could briefly float in the air while vaulting from a higher vantage point. Okay, that's fine. It's a bug fix. Fix an issue where the supply crate could be climbed on when forcing collision with... Okay, that's a bug fix. Fix an issue where the chase music would end successfully after hitting a healthy survivor with the bound. Okay. Fix an issue where it can be stuck in rocks on Thompson House. Fix an issue where a survivor could lose control of their character if they use it as they enter the locker. Fix an issue where the players could escape a trial when grabbed by the mastermind under high latency conditions. Okay. Fix an issue where the collision box is too large while using charge bound on a survivor towards another survivor as the mastermind. Okay. So, at least according to what I'm reading here in the patch notes, I'm not seeing anything. Like, if this is supposedly just bug fixes, this says will improve responsiveness, as well change how we detect a collision. It will now properly detect the size of the character collision size. What the hell? So how did they manage to change Wesker to where he can't even use anything, any of his power pretty much, in the way that everyone would use it in order to make him viable and actually playable? Because at least from everything I'm reading here, it's literally just a bunch of bug fixes. Like, okay, well, this person, like, these survivors get stuck on a rock. Okay, we fix that. We fix it so your power doesn't stop working if they enter a locker. We fix it so that the players can't escape the trial if you're grabbing them. You know, we fixed it where you're floating or something like that, right? So how did that manage to change his entire power? How do they do that? Which, side note, it says here they fixed their reveal distance was inconsistent between 15 and 32 meters against Ghostface. We'll see if that's actually true. But regardless, interesting. So I guess that somehow they managed to nerf Wesker indirectly, according to the patch notes here. This is, like I've said, I don't know. Like, this is very concerning. If this does go through, right, like I've said, if Wesker's changes go through in this way, I think it's probably rest in peace Wesker. He was already pretty much out the door for quite a while as it is. I do think he's one of the weakest dash killers in the game. But yeah, I mean, yeah, rest in peace, man. I mean, he was fun while he lasted. You know, I always knew it was coming. Where his abilities and text and everything else are going to be changed and removed some way, somehow. I always knew it was coming. So I'm like, I guess it's just a matter of time. But yeah, I mean, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Do you guys, like, what do you guys feel about this, man? Like, what do you think? Leave a like, of course, subscribe. And if you really want to support the channel, consider becoming a member on Patreon or YouTube, or even subbing on Twitch for supporting and stuff like that. I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, let's go ahead and read off our members from Patreon: Pro King 101, YouTube members: Cargan Falcon, Evil Blade, Cap Courteous, WTF You're Not JLo, Evil Peach, Cozy Bozy, Theo Endire, Dole Whip, Noxus, Zero Mocker, Jack, Christian, and Crow Vader. And for the Twitch, we have Final Girl Bunny, Leona Art, Zazabu, Evil Blade, Danica, Crow Vader, Cake is a Road, Zeneron, Ginsburg, Mr. Morik, Kevin, Zero Mocker, Ashai Boo, and Gryffindor. Appreciate you guys supporting. Really means a lot. If you want to become a member, you can go ahead and join through Patreon or YouTube members, or even sub on Twitch. See you guys in the next one.